Hey, it's Clay at claytrader.com, and I want to talk some day trading basics here. And although they're basics, it is very important because this is a trap that a lot of unsuspecting day traders, usually beginners, fall into. But with that being said, very important distinction, it also gets experienced traders. It's a trap that's out there, and the reason why it is so powerful is because it's going for everybody. Experienced people, I have to be just on guard about it and aware of it just as much as the beginner trader. And I want to just make sure that you're aware of it. So from one trader to another, we got to hold ourselves accountable. And I want to share with you something that, potentially put me in a very dangerous spot, and hopefully you can learn from it. Or like I said, just have it serve as a reminder to you. And I should also note that I'll be using a stock market trade, but this trap doesn't only exist in the stock market. It exists in cryptocurrency markets, Forex markets, future markets, because it's a mental trap, right? It's a mental trick that exists. And it is one that is powerful because it's logical, meaning at no point is a thought process, wait, why would you think that? Well, that doesn't make any sense. That's irrational to think that way. No, every single bit of the thought process is legitimate, completely logical, which makes it, like I said, a very powerful trap and a dangerous, very, very dangerous trap. And this is not coming from textbook theory. This is coming from somebody that's fallen into the trap, and it's not pleasant at all. And as far as textbook theory, there's going to be none of that here. In fact, what you see on the screen here is going to be a live trade that I captured that I want to share with you. That way you know that this is not me sitting here saying, well, in a textbook once I read about, or the author told me it should. No, none of that. This is all real life results, so you know that this exists in a very real way. So to set up the context here, I just want to walk you through a trade here that I took, and I was looking to buy, for a breakout. So without further ado, let's just show you how this live trade played out. All right, I'm actually watching MRNA now for an upside trade, breakout of 333. Things are looking really bad for it for a second. Whoa. In there, looking for the break of 333. Not just a question of can the bulls do it? And I think they can, which is why I jumped in. So knocking on the door, there's the break. And a very anticlimactic break. Let's give it another try here. Give it another chance. And again, another failure. Failure to get momentum, I should say, because sure, it did break through 333. See if it wants to head back up. If it breaks 331, I got to get out. All right, now I'm down $103 on the day. Failed breakout. So yeah, bought the breakout. Price did start to break out, but never moved enough to justify any sort of profit taking. So ultimately took a loss on it. Not very pleasant. But I want to give you the rest of the story here, and so that you can see what happened following the trade, so that you know that, hey, you know what? I've been there. For you veteran traders out there, you're not alone. For your beginner traders, maybe you haven't been in this location yet, but assuming that you're being disciplined, assuming that you actually care about ultimately surviving as a trader, then you will be here. And I wish I could say, yeah, just like once or twice. No, you'll be here many, many times, but just realize that it happens. It doesn't mean that anything's wrong. In fact, it means that you're doing the right thing. But what is this trap? Well, let's set the context, and maybe you know where I'm headed with this. I know for sure those of you with experience know where I'm headed with this. But what happened after I got out of the trade, right? After I was disciplined, things were looking really rough. Well, you can see here, maybe you guessed it. Oh, look, a green candle. Oh, look, another green candle. The price is starting to go back up. Little bit of a pullback there, and then eventually works its way up there and gets up to right around 336. So I'm not trying to say that this trade would have been, kept me out from a grand slam winning trade or anything like that. But the point being is it would have been a winning trade. I would have made money. But what was required in order to done that? Well, to not sell. So what's the trap? Well, the trap is a logical thought process, right? The trap is a logical thought process of, well, Clay, had you held, had you had stronger hands, had you just, waited a little bit while longer, why'd you get out here? Look at it. It ultimately went back up. You should have held. And to reiterate, nothing that I said right there from a logical point of view that makes perfect sense. Now, what would not make perfect sense is, let's just say I showed you what happened and then the price just dropped and dropped and dropped and dropped. And then I was sitting there saying, yeah, and I should have held. You would be 100% right to say, wait, what? You should have held? Why that doesn't make any sense at all. That's irrational to think that way. Exactly. But what is rational is to say, well, geez, you should have held because look what happened. Exactly. The you should have held voice because look what happened and when it goes in your favor. And that puts you in a very, very, vulnerable spot of falling into this trap. Now, I don't think this is clickbait. If it is, I really apologize. Not my intent at all. But now what I want you to do is go and watch this video. I'll put a link down below. So on YouTube, description box, if you're watching on my site, then right below the video. And I want you to follow up with this entire trap, this entire context, right? I've set the context of the trap, right? If I would have held, if I would have had stronger hands, it would have been a winning trade. And I want you to go and watch this video right here. And you can probably tell by the name of it, there's a big warning in this message or in this video. And the warning has to do with the trap that I just set up the context of right here. And my goal is just to keep this video extra short. That way you can go and watch this video. And sure, I'll set things up again. But within doing so, you're going to get another data point, right? You're going to get another real life example of just how common this trap can be. And, a little bit of a spoiler, how ugly the trap, how painful the trap can turn out to be if you're not aware of it, or like I said, if you just ultimately fall into it for those of you that are more experienced out there. So I want you to go and watch this video, and we'll kind of, it's like a two-part series here. So this is part one, and then this will be part two. And again, I don't know the exact term for clickbait, and I don't think this is, because all you got to do is click a link to another video, I didn't set this up for like 20 minutes, and then all of a sudden, no. Keeping it extra short so that you can go and watch this video and get another data point of the trap being set. And then you'll see, like I said, what can happen with that trap and what the trap actually likes to do to traders that, fall into it. So thank you for hanging out with this video with part number one, and I'll see you back in part number two. So go click that link again down in the description box if you're watching on YouTube, or right down below this video if you're watching at my site. First off, thanks so much for watching the entire video. Real quick, before you go, I want to invite you to a live webinar, web class, training, workshop, online event, whatever you want to call it, but it will be me live revealing to you what I've discovered that has allowed me to transform myself from being an employee to being my own boss, including how I had only one losing day out of 73 days in total. I'm going to cover 3 keys that have helped me unlock profitable consistency within the markets. The first key is super weird, but in a productive type of way. The second key is super awesome because it quite literally is wired into our DNA as humans, making it very easy to use. But in a cruel way, this becomes a pitfall for many traders. I'll explain it all though, including how to avoid the pitfall that it creates for some. And yeah, the third key, when you hear it, sounds way too good to be true, but it's not, and I'll show you how it all works. Then at the end, I open it up for a question and answer session that is, again, totally live. Even if you can't make the live session, please still sign up as it will be recorded, and you can go back and watch the replay that I will send you. Click the image on the screen or click the link down in the description box so you can get the date and time and claim your spot, which I should note is limited due to the fact that this truly is a live event. If you have any questions, let me know. If not, I'll be seeing you soon.